Today I'm going to show you guys my chicken coop. I've had the chickens home for not quite 2 months. They were living at my mom's house for about a full year while we house hunted. She hatched out chicks and I was like, save some for me for when we get a house, not realizing it would take as long as it did. And then we moved in the middle of winter and, you know, didn't have time to put up a coop and move birds until just a few months ago with everything else we had going on. But so you can see I have 2 different runs. I have this front run and then the back one I like to call the chicken jungle gym. I have hot wire stretched around the property to reach, and it runs around the bottom. I actually have more, so I'm gonna do another one on the middle around the outside because the bottom one's gonna get covered in the snow in winter and gonna be useless, so I'll have to unplug that. But then I have chicken wire underneath this gravel. I didn't want to dig it straight down because the sand gets compacted really hard and that was just going to be too much work for me. So I laid the chicken wire out flat, you can kind of see, and then there's gravel over top of that to keep anything from really wanting to dig in. Did use hardware cloth. This side is built much nicer. My husband planned this out. He got wood specifically for this. The back jungle gym area was all scrap wood from the barn project, and I kind of threw that together in an afternoon, so it looks ridiculous, but you know, it's more room for the chickens and that's all they really care about. So this is the run that I feed them all their snacks in. As you can see, I just brought them. There's some pumpkin and cabbage leaves and cantaloupe. I clean this out every couple days after they're done eating stuff or if stuff starts looking gross. I have my pitchfork that sits right outside and I'll come through here and clean this. I have a little bench in here so that I can sit on it. I do keep water in here that hasn't been dumped yet today, but it needs to. And then they have their little perch. They only really sit on that one at night when they're waiting for me to come and tuck them in, but they do move into the coop at night no matter if it's nice out or not. So I've actually rearranged the inside of this coop quite a few times. So initially all of the nesting boxes were along this whole wall and the roosting bars were along the whole back wall. But my 3 younger pullets really like to get up there, and they were pooping over this feeder, which happened to be in the middle, which, you know, you don't want them pooping in their food. So I needed to rearrange everything in a way that worked. So the nesting boxes got stacked over here, which they're actually really liking. And the roosting bars got put over there. I still need to figure out, I'd like, if they want to roost in the middle up there, I don't mind it, but I don't like them roosting like here because then, you know, they poop a lot at night. So then it just comes down and covers this. These are not meant to be roosting boxes. This is really just to keep this like table shelf a little cleaner. And the only reason I have this here is to try and protect the feed bins so they're not getting completely covered in poop. It does work to an extent. Hi, Cecilia. I don't have snacks for you right now. I just gave you a snack. That's Cecilia. She's my lead lady. There was one more nesting box, but it kind of fell apart in the move, so I've just put the pieces there. I haven't decided what I'm doing with it yet. I keep all my feed in here. I know a lot of people are like, don't keep the feed in there because you're going to attract raccoons or bears or whatever, but I like having it in here. It's easy to get. I have a little litter scooper, which is actually what I use to clean out the nesting boxes. I do that pretty much daily. I keep bags of feed in here, so I'm almost out of that feed. My feed scoop, I do keep apple cider vinegar in here because I put that in their water. It's good for them and helps protect from parasites. And now we have Penelope. Hi, Penelope. That's my favorite chicken. She's so cute. And then in this one I just have snacks, which is why they came running. I have some grit for them and some cracked corn, and I Okay, girls, and I keep dried mealworms in there too. My main reason for keeping their food in here is that I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but there is something in chicken feed that is extremely toxic to horses. And I have known a few farmers that have lost their entire herd of horses because they got into the chicken feed and then they all died. So my horses are not gonna get in here ever. It's safe, it works for all of us. I have a little bowl of grit and a little water down under there. Again, just keeps it safe. Hi, Charlotte. And then Freya. These are some of my pullets. I have a Rhode Island red pullet. We'll probably follow these two. I don't have any. I threw corn out there, Sweet Pea. I have this little door. Can you guys beep beep? Say beep beep. This little door that I made. That it just at night I slide it down. I can't really do it right now, but slide it down and then lock it into place. I actually kind of want to add another lock from this side because if a really crazy raccoon got in there, it could probably jiggle it free. But yeah, so here's the nesting boxes. That one did not end up level. I don't know. I hung it and then I was like, that's not level, and then I just haven't taken the time to fix it. I think I'm gonna end up putting, hello. I think I'm gonna end up putting some, I might have mentioned this already, but I have extra roofing materials from the barn build that I think I'm gonna stretch across the edges to keep the pullets from pooping where I don't want them to poop. But that's this front side, and now we'll go around to the back. Hi, girls. They're a little bit stir crazy because I actually have not, they used to be able to free range for a few hours a day at my mom's, but I have not let them do that here because I don't have any exterior fencing up around this side of the property yet, so they could go right on the other side. I'll show you from the back, but there's like a stick pile from all the trees we took out and then the road and then a giant cornfield, so they could get in there and I would never find them, or they could cross this little ditch where there's a dry creek bed and end up at my neighbor's house, and we have a lot of hawks and coyotes, and so I've just been a little hesitant to let them out. I'm trying to make sure they really know where their coop is and they really trust me as mom first. See, there's my red. My mom thinks she kind of looks like a rooster. I don't know. I guess time will tell. And that one's Alice, unless it turns out to be a boy. But so this is the play area. See, I kind of ran out of hardware cloth there, so I just slapped up some of that extra roofing I was talking about. So this side definitely doesn't look as nice. Hi, Cece. I threw the corn on the other side. I throw down loose hay that the horses don't eat in here. I give them big piles and then they just kind of scratch it all over the place and they love that. I made a chicken swing. They haven't found it entertaining yet, so I might end up getting rid of that and just using that piece of wood as an extra perch somewhere. I have this pallet here. I'm thinking I want to put roofing material on the underside of it because they like to stand up here and perch on this as well. But if I do the underside, then they'll have a little covered area if they're out here and it starts raining all of a sudden. And that's important because I actually have 6 little baby chicks, little baby pullets at my mom's house. She's got all the stuff to incubate and then hatch chicks out. So when we saw some, it was like, hey, we both wanted chicks. Easier to hatch out 12 at her house than 6 at mine and 6 at hers. But here's this little tire that actually used to be, the previous homeowners left it in the garden and I didn't like it there, but the chickens love to play in it and around it. And then I just have another roost. This back chicken jungle gym area stays a lot more shaded. So especially in the summer when it's hot, they play on this side a lot more. And they love this little perch because about 2-3 in the afternoon when it's really hot out, that's like the only thing that's still completely in shade. So they just come out and hang in that. So you'll keep water dishes kind of in each area for them. That'll change in the winter. They're only going to have one heated water bucket, but in the summer when it's hot, they have a bunch. You can see I've protected everything. So the sides are hardware cloth. On the top is just bird netting that's zip tied together I really wanted to do hardwood cloth along the top too, but hardwood cloth is expensive, and it was more important to me to give them more space than have it be super fancy right now. But see, these are the pieces of extra roofing materials that I think I'm going to use to keep those pullets off of the edges of that top crossbeam. But see, here's, like, this is the stick pile from where we cleared space to put up the barn. This was all woods. This is the leftover stuff that hasn't gotten cut up for firewood yet. Oh, there's a snake in there. Ooh, 2 snakes in there. Oh, actually, there's like a whole snake nest in there. Hello, snakes. Oh, hello, you want to say hello? I actually really like snakes. Okay, I'm not food though. What are you sticking your tongue out for me? Silly snake. You're silly. That one's sticking his tongue out at me too. Hi, guys. Okay, I'm distracted. I love snakes. I would stick them all in the house. I had an albino bull snake for years as my bedroom pet. But yeah, so stick pile, road, cornfield. Makes me nervous, and the house is farther away, so the house is over there. Here comes my girls. But yeah, that's the chicken coop. I do kind of, maybe next year I might expand the runs a little bit so that when I'm too chicken, haha, to turn them out and let them free range, or I can't babysit them, they can have more play space, especially since we're adding more birds to the pack here soon. But anyways, 2 months having the chickens at home. It's going pretty well. They're enjoying everything. Just heard somebody hop in a nesting box. Don't go in there to poop, girls. I get about 3 eggs a day, which is pretty good considering I only have 4 hens of laying age. So I don't know who's in the box right now, because these are my 4 layers. So I have, I don't know if I can zoom in here. It's not going to work with the stupid hardwood cloth, but it's Penelope, Butterscotch, Cecilia, and Grandma, because she's my old chicken. Hi, girls. But see, over here you can see the pullets go up there, because they like to hang up there at night, and then they poop down the side of the building. I'd prefer they're not up there pooping on my mirror on the inside and the table and on the outside of the building. But we're doing good so far. We'll probably have more changes coming once I bring the chicks home and whatever, but that's my little chicken coop, guys. Not too exciting.